Dadpreneurs, Adam Dukes here, and I want to record this quick video. This is going to be actually a mini training. This used to be in a paid program of mine. However, I am unleashing it to the YouTube world. This is what a video I wish I knew back in 2010 when I got started. It was February 2010. I was on Amazon looking for a book on motivation. I had been recently laid off, didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. Came across this gem. This is when I first discovered Gary Vaynerchuk, 2010. So I've been a follower and a fan of his for 9 years. Devoured this book, and this book was the gateway drug to entrepreneurship. What I learned in that book I still apply today, and that book taught me about another book, another very popular book called The 4-Hour Workweek by Timothy Ferriss. Actually opened it up. I just pulled off the bookshelf right back there and found a little post-it note. As you can see the dates on there, it looks like March 26th of 2010. I have no idea what those other numbers are, but it got a few dates there, and it appears I only read half the book. I didn't finish it, so it's a great book, at least the first half. I have no idea how the second half is, but anyways, so I credit both of those books to being my gateway drug into the whole online entrepreneur space. And man, I'm recording this video, sharing this, like I said, mini training in what I wish I knew 9+ years ago, because this would have saved me an incredible amount of time, money, frustration, frequent trips to the liquor store. I was almost foreclosed on in 2011 because I didn't know this stuff. The car was almost repoed a couple times. It never happened, but I got the threatening phone calls and letters, all because I didn't have this information on what I'm going to share with you today. So this is very, very important, and it models off of Dan Kennedy. He is arguably the greatest marketing mind in the last 50+ years. I think he's probably 65 or 70 years old. He's old school. He's like newspaper, direct mail type stuff. Rumor has it he doesn't even have an email address. He uses fax. It's $100,000 a day to consult with him, and you have to go to him, which I think he's out of Cleveland, Ohio. So if you got 100 grand to spend and a desire to go to Cleveland, Ohio, go see Dan Kennedy. But he came out with a product 20+ years ago called Magnetic Marketing, and it was 3 M's. It was timeless principles of marketing that worked 60, 70 years ago, and they'll continue to work 60 or 70 years from now. It's not tactics or fads, you know. And he had these 3 M's that he talked about, which I'll reveal in just a second. But I found that he was missing 2 M's, and since I'm an alliteration aficionado, I added my flavor, little Dan Kennedy, little Adam Dukes, and I kind of infused it, and then I call it my M5 framework. Pretty sure BMW copied off of me with the whole M5 car. That's cool. I'm not gonna go after them. But anyways, these 5 M's are crucial to starting any online business, and I could argue it's just as applicable to an offline business, a brick and mortar business. It really doesn't matter what business you're looking to start, but this video we're going to talk about online business. So the 5 M's, in order of importance, by the way, number 1 is mindset. Number 2 is model. What business model? In the online world, there are probably hundreds of choices of business models. Number 3 is your market. Number 4 is your message. And number 5 is your media. Now, don't worry. We're going to go into a deep dive training where I kind of go through all 5 of these, how you can dominate all 5 of these, and why they are so damn important. I promise, if you focus on these 5 things, it doesn't matter the new social media platform or the new whiz-bang software or whatever it is. These are the 5 principles, the 5 foundations that'll be applicable today in 2019, in 5 years from now in 2024, and most likely in 15 or 20 years from now. So this is the video that I wish I had back in 2010. I truly do, because like I said, it would have saved me the frequent trips to the liquor store, the stress, the frustration, the fights with Amanda, fights with the kids. You know, it's caused me a lot of undue stress not knowing this, not putting this together. It's taken me, I created this about 7 years ago, I'm sorry, 2 years ago, about 7 years into my journey, the M5 framework. So today I'm going to reveal it. Like I said, it was a paid training. Now it's free on the YouTube. So let's dive right in to my M5 framework. All right, so here are the 5 building blocks to starting an online business. Like I said, I call it my M5 framework, something I've just kind of assembled over the years. I think I kind of put it out a couple, 2 years ago. like I said, combination of a little Dan Kennedy, myself, kind of infused together. So let's dive right in. So number one, in order of importance, again, is mindset. This is crucial. This is the foundation for everything, not just business, but life. It's the 6 inches between our ears, the insecurities, the self-doubt, the fear of failure, the fear of judgment is a big one that I see. That's something that you need to work on daily. I'm convinced business and life really is 90% mindset and 10% strategy or tactics. I talk about this often, that we're all just one Google search away from solving just about any problem we can. So it's not the how-to. There's plenty of YouTube videos if you need to learn how to create a Facebook ad or get over a breakup or change the oil in a car or whatever it is, but it's the mindset that you really have to master. It requires daily work. I didn't realize the importance of mindset until I think at the end of 2015. I read a book called The Miracle Morning, which I highly, highly, highly recommend, and that showed me the power of mindset. And since reading that book and The Slight Edge, which is my all-time favorite book as of today, it's really taught me consistent work, putting in the daily work, and the importance of working on your mind daily. And I'll share a couple of tips that I do on a daily basis that have worked. So here are my non-negotiables is what I call them. This is things that I do every day, or I try to do every day, I should say. There's some days that I don't get all of these in. Reading 20 minutes a day. This has been something I've been doing for years. It's funny, I was never a reader until I became an entrepreneur. Now I'm obsessed with it. Typically it's personal development books, self-improvement, some marketing books, some business books as well, but I'd say the majority of them are mindset books, personal development books, creating better habits, things like that. Right now I'm reading Atomic Habits, which is fantastic. I highly, highly recommend that book. The second one is meditating. I do a thing called box breathing. It's you kind of the Navy SEALs do it. It's very, very powerful, but you inhale for 4 seconds, then you hold at the top for 4 seconds, you exhale for 4 seconds, and then you hold at the bottom. So it's kind of like a box. There's four steps, I guess you could call it, 4 seconds apiece, so it's 16 seconds. I try to do 10 to 20 reps. First thing I do when I wake up, while the coffee's brewing, I lay on the floor. I kind of spread out like that while the coffee's brewing. I do my box breathing, and then I try to do it at night before I go to bed or in the evening. Number 3 is journaling. This is a powerful one. I'm a huge fan of journaling. Yes, men, it's not a girl thing or a women thing or a feminine thing. Journaling is really, really powerful. Something I do every morning while I'm drinking my coffee. Visualizing. I love daydreaming. I have a picture of, I printed off on the printer here, a logo of a Tesla, and I have it taped onto my steering wheel. I did it in June of 2018, so it's been about 13 months. It's the same picture, or the same piece of paper. It's a little ripped up, a little dirty. It's not too bad, but I see that image every single day. Multiple times a day, that Tesla logo on my steering wheel. I posted it on Instagram, Facebook. People laughed and joked about it. Some people were like, that's a wonderful idea. And I got the idea. I think I saw a meme, but I actually put it to use, and I look at that and I visualize myself driving a Tesla. I also visualize myself of, with the kids. The kids are happy. The kids are laughing. We're out enjoying things. We're going on vacations, things like that. So visualizing, daydreaming, whatever you want to call it, really powerful. Taking a daily walk. Around a block here is about 13 minutes. I try to do that every single day. When I have the kids here, we go on a bike ride, which is a little bit different because I try to walk with no cell phone and no headphones on. I just enjoy the sounds of nature. Now, when I take a bike ride with the kids, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit louder, but I still enjoy it. Exercising, I try to get to the gym 3 to 4 times a week, doing weightlifting. Pray every night before bed. I'm not going to get all religious on you or anything like that, but I get down on my hands and knees and kind of just put my elbows on the bed and just pray. Sometimes 20 seconds, sometimes a minute, maybe 90 seconds. I just pray every night, and I typically do it in the morning too when I'm drinking my coffee, when I'm done journaling, when I'm done reading. I'll sit and pray for the day. And then the next one is practice gratitude. This is something that's really powerful as well. You've probably heard it. It's cliche. When I sit down to drink the cup of coffee, after I do my box breathing, I write down 5 things I'm grateful for in the previous 24 hours. I try to do in the previous 24 hours. And what it does is it forces you to look for things to be grateful for. The things I've written down are amazing. Things I've taken for granted, like a microwave. The sun's out today in Las Vegas. I think it's sunny 330 days a year. But you look for things throughout the day to add to the list the next day. It's really, really powerful. Like I said, it's a lot of things that I've taken for granted. Thank you for Facebook. I've been grateful for YouTube, putting out YouTube videos, sharing content like this, things I wouldn't think of before, but that's a really powerful one. So what do you want? This is another question. Sadly, not many people can answer this question, or not specific. They'll just say, I want more money, I want to be happy. They're not specific. There's no timeline to it. So this is a powerful one. Design your dream lifestyle. So I have a spreadsheet that I have all my monthly bills, and I have all the dream things that I want, like a personal chef, a personal trainer, weekly massages. Here it up. So tally up, and so what you want to do is your normal monthly bills, your home and your cable bill and your cell phone bill and your car and your gas and groceries and food and things like that. And then I have the things that I want, that I'm aspiring to get, that I want. Like, these are all examples. I don't know about personal chef anymore. I kind of go back and forth on that. But a personal trainer, weekly massages, a white Tesla. I talk about that a lot. And then I tally it all up, and you would be surprised. It's funny because you ask these new entrepreneurs, or even seasoned veteran entrepreneurs, how much money they want to make per month, and they overshoot it big time. They'll say, oh, I want to do $50,000 a month. And then if they do this exercise and design their dream lifestyle and tally up the numbers, like 9 times out of 10, I'd say 9.8 times out of 10, it's much, much, much less. The total amount is much less than the 50,000 or whatever they want. So tally it all up. I bet you'll be shocked by how little the amount is. Or maybe not how little, but it's not nearly as much as you thought it was. Like, I don't have like boa constrictors and exotic pets and things like that. I have some basic stuff, and then I like giving money, donating, sending money to my parents, sending money to my aunts and uncle, a couple aunts as well. So vacation money, FU money, things like that. So try that out, put it in a spreadsheet, tally it all up, and see what you need. And then you have kind of a goal. I would add, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an accountant, I don't play one on the YouTubes. Maybe add 15 to 25% for Uncle Sam, maybe 20%, split the difference there. Add 10 to 15% profits. Again, I'm just giving a range. Every business is going to be different, just to give you a little bit of padding, I guess I could say. And now you have a number to aim for. Let's say you wanted to do $10,000 a month. That's what your dream lifestyle. You add in 20% to that, so now you're at 12,000. You want to do 10% for profit, so now you're at about 13,200. So that's the number you need to aim for each and every month. So divide that out. 13,200 divided by 30 days would be, I don't know, $400, I think, $450 a day. How can you make $450 a day? That's the number you need to hit every single day. So congratulations. If you do this exercise, you're honestly ahead of like 93.6% of the population. Obviously a number I just completely randomly pulled. It might even be higher than that number. So number 2 in my M5 framework is the model. What type of business model? Now online there are probably hundreds of business models. I'm just going to go over some of the obvious ones. So this is all kind of grouped together. It's basically client work. If you want to do some consulting, if you want to do freelancing, creating some type of an agency, a social media marketing agency. Now there's pros and cons to all these business models. Obviously you got to go with what your strengths are, what you want. Back to that last slide, what your dream goal is, or what your dream lifestyle is. Number 2 is affiliate marketing. So basically this is selling other people's products or services, and you get a commission. Like Amazon, you can sell Amazon products and you get like a 4% to, I think, up to 10%, depending on like volume and things like that. So if someone buys a book up for $10, you're going to get like 40 cents. However, if they click your link and they buy something, I think it's within 24 hours, let's say a riding lawnmower for $8,000, you're going to get a cut of that. You'll get like $32, I think, 4%. So that is one way. There's a lot. Best Buy, I think, does affiliate marketing. And then there's a bunch of digital stuff. If you sell like a digital software, ClickFunnels is a big software. They offer you 40% on a $97 per month subscription. They'll pay you $38 and I think 60 cents a month, as long as that customer continues paying. So affiliate marketing is another business model. E-commerce is another one. It's a really popular one the last 3 or 4 years. It's selling physical goods, basically using Shopify, maybe Magento, maybe WooCommerce on WordPress, selling physical goods to people. That I've had I've done consulting, I've done freelancing, agency, affiliate marketing, e-commerce. E-commerce was the fastest to scale for me and the easiest to kind of hire a team. And it's probably the easiest to automate, in my experience. Not to say that's always the case, but in my experience, that was. Coaching, you can offer some type of a coaching, whether it's business coaching, whether it's life coaching, whether it's relationship coaching, whether it's some type of a health coaching, fitness, diet, weightlifting coaching. There's a ton of different things. If you're an expert in something, you can help someone. They only have to be a couple steps behind you. You don't have to be the master, the best in the world at it. If they're a couple steps behind you, you can help them and coach them. You could do group coaching, one-on-one coaching. Next one is courses, selling digital courses. The margins are very, very high. That's why it's attractive. It's easy to scale. If you're some type of an expert, you could sell to some type of courses on anything. I've seen a guy sold a course, I think it was $10, and he did $117,000 in his first year. And he sold how to do a hot dog stand business. I was blown away. He was down in like Alabama or Louisiana. It was a couple years ago. I remember reading about it, and he's just $10 course. He didn't offer coaching. He didn't offer anything else. And people were like, you could have made a lot more money if you offered coaching and had upsells. And he's like, I'm fucking happy with 110,000, or 117,000, whatever it was. So you can create a course on just about anything. MLM or network marketing. This is something I have zero experience with. I'm not a big fan of it. I'm just not a big fan of how it's marketed typically. Got friends in the business, got family members that have dabbled in the business. It's another business model though. Like I said, I guess I shouldn't knock it since I haven't tried it. So the third M in my 5M framework is the market. This is extremely important. Who are you marketing to? So I'm a big fan of niching down, then niching down again. The last thing you want to do is try to service everyone, especially when you're getting started. You want to niche down, and then I recommend going like a third level. So an example, a couple years ago, I was running, in 2014, I was doing Facebook ads for male Keller Williams agents. So it wasn't just real estate agents. It wasn't just Keller Williams agents. It was male Keller Williams agents. And I was able to target that small sub niche on Facebook. I could check males, Keller Williams agents, and I think it was around 12,000 people. And I was putting content out there and advertising my content and lead magnets and getting on my email list and soliciting my services. And it was such a I was a big fish in a small pond is what I'm trying to say. And as far as I know, I was the only Facebook ad specialist for male Keller Williams agents in the world. So I basically created a category of one. And what was really powerful is when I got on the phone with these people, with these agents, I was able to learn their lingo. I was able to learn some of the inner processes and systems that they had in Keller Williams. So in turn, when I started talking to more of them, the 21st call I took, I could reference some of their internal processes. These people were blown away. They're like, Jesus, this guy really gets me. This guy understands me. He knows what's going on in this office. Hey, I know that you guys are supposed to cold call from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Something like that. How the hell did he know that? I knew that because I niched down and then I niched down again. Another one. This YouTube channel is about helping dadpreneurs, not male entrepreneurs, not male entrepreneurs, but dads who are entrepreneurs. I can relate to them. I can be empathetic. I know what it's like being a dadpreneur because I am one. I am in that. I live that world. I know what it's like having kids and trying to do the life, the balance, putting the kids down so I can record videos like this. I mean, they're not here right now, but when they're down for bed, I can record videos at night once they're sleeping. So I understand that. I can reference things like that in my content. So who is the one person you want to serve? You want to get crystal clear on that one person you want to serve and put out content to help them. So you want to become a specialist, not a generalist. The example is the heart surgeon makes much more than just that kind of the general doctor because he's a heart surgeon. This is a quote I came up with a couple years ago. It's kind of taking a Biggie Smalls lyric. Generalists fight for scraps at the table, while specialists have caviar for breakfast with champagne bubble baths. That caviar to bubble baths part's a lyric from Biggie Smalls, my favorite rapper of all time. So I just kind of combined it. But it's true. The generalists fight for scraps at the table. When you're a specialist, it's about positioning you as the expert. And you can enjoy caviar and champagne bubble baths, if that's what you desire. I have no idea why you'd want that. These three words, pound them and tattoo them on you, pound them into your head. Know your market. This is it's never done. It's never finished. It's ongoing. It's always evolving. You need to learn about your market. And how you do that is you can Pick up the phone and call them, talk to them, schedule appointments, talk with them one-on-one on social media. You can also somewhat spy on them. So I'll get into a couple resources that I use that are completely free to do market research. So some of the questions you want to ask your market or what you think, and create content around some of these questions. What keeps them awake at night? What are they afraid of? What makes them angry? What frustrates them the most? What causes them pain? What do they want more than anything? Okay, so, and what do they want more than anything? These are just 6 questions to get you started. There's a ton of them, but this is just to kind of give you an idea. Really, that it shows you the power of just really focusing down on that one specific person. And just because you focus down on one specific person, there's other people that have those issues. You know, a lot of people think, well, one person, I need to sell my stuff to more than one person. There's more people that are like that. So empathy is your secret weapon. Like I said, put yourself in try to get yourself in their shoes. If I could take marketing and replace it with one word, it'd be empathy. If you can really get to know them and put yourselves in their shoes. Again, that's why I like working with dadpreneurs, because I am one. I don't have to do as much market research because I can just tell my story. I can share the struggles that I have, and other people can relate to that because other dadpreneurs have the same struggles or similar struggles. So here's a few free resources where you can do market research. Niche forums is a great one. You can dive in and just kind of, you could create a profile on that. You don't need to. I'd recommend jumping in the conversation, but you can read what people are complaining about, what people are having problems with, what solutions they're looking for, what solutions are working. Facebook groups is another one. There's Facebook groups for just about anything. Quit smoking, lose weight, keto groups I've seen, business, marketing, mindset, things like that. And people are there, a lot of people are there, and they will post questions, what they're struggling with, some of the challenges, some of the obstacles, the day-to-day things, and you can get content from that. And if you're putting together a product, putting together a service, these places are gold mines. Amazon reviews. This is a great one. I like looking at the negative reviews. Look what people are complaining about in books. Hey, they left out how to do this diet, or hey, I'm trying to crochet. They didn't show you need the needles. I have no idea. I've never crocheted, but they might complain about that, and you go, oh, okay. I need to reference that, And then also look at the positive reviews as well. They're going to say, oh, I really enjoyed this book because they laid out steps 1, 2, 3 on how to lose 20 pounds in 35 days, and you can use that in your content. What people are enjoying, what people like. Quora is another one. This is a hidden gem. I love this website. It's a question and answer website. Basically, people can post questions on literally anything they want. Things that you wouldn't even imagine. I can't think of weird examples, but I got involved with this website in 2017. It's a lot of fun. If you're struggling for content ideas, go to Quora. You will find questions in your marketplace of people asking questions, and a lot of times I'll take my answers from Quora and repurpose that into a blog post, a podcast, a YouTube video, an email, and vice versa. Reddit's another one. I don't really use Reddit. I don't like the layout of it. It just seems old school for me. However, it is a great place to do market research. Just because I don't use it doesn't mean it's not a good one. But that's another one that people use for market research. So number 4 in the M5 framework, I flipped the numbers around, is message. What you're sharing, the content you're sharing. So you need to create content around the market research, the topic that or the last couple slides, the problems they're having, the solutions they're looking for, the struggles, what's keeping them up at night, what are they afraid of, things like that. You need to create content around it. So add value. As cliche as it sounds, a lot of people say add value. It's true. So what is value? I like to do like a 3-prong thing, and since I'm an alliteration aficionado, I do educate, entertain, and elevate. So those are the 3 E's. I try to incorporate at least one of them when I'm putting out content, whether it's a YouTube video, an email, a social media post, a podcast. I try to include all 3 if possible. I'd like to think I get all 3, but sometimes maybe I only hit 1 of the 3 or 2 of the 3. So try to use those 3 things. Infotainment is what I think Ben Settle made that famous. So information and entertainment, kind of combine those 2 together. So how to add value. These are just some of my ideas. There are a plethora of ideas on how to add value. So share your wins and your losses. I find the posts that are harder to publish, the emails that are harder to send, the ones that I overanalyze. There was one Facebook post I wrote years ago on like a Thursday. I didn't hit publish till Monday. I reread that son of a bitch 38 different times, editing it, and hit publish, and that was by far the one I got the most reaction from. A lot of private messages that talked about depression, anxiety, things like that. I was just very honest and open. And people, so many people would reach out to me and said, hey, thanks, I didn't know you were struggling with depression. You know, I do too. You know, I had one guy tell me his wife had taken the gun away from him like on 2 occasions. A guy I've never met before besides just Facebook. It was insane, some of the stories that people shared with me, because I was sharing, again, some of my weaknesses. So again, share your wins and losses. Share your rants and ramblings if something's making you upset in your industry. Take a stand, draw a line in the sand, but take a stand and stand up. Maybe not everyone's going to agree with you. That's okay. That's a good thing. Repelling people is a really good thing. So share your rants and ramblings. Share how-to content, kind of like I'm doing with this video here, and a lot of other videos on my YouTube channel on how to do things. Over the last 8+ years, I've learned a thing or two, and I was like, I'm going to put out these YouTube videos because some people ask me how to create a Facebook ad. I don't know, man. I'm sick of showing it, so I just created a video on it. And now I can just share the link to the video. So I'm leveraging technology to, it really benefits me. It saves me time, but it's going to help other people as well. Share your shortcomings and success. This is similar to wins and losses, but I'm open with my weaknesses. There's times I post on Facebook, hey, communication's a weakness of mine. And I know it's so important in life, not just business, relationships, life, business. Communication is extremely important. So that's a shortcoming of mine. So I post on Facebook, hey, I'm struggling with communicating, or I'm looking to get better at communicating. What books do you guys recommend? You know, and people will respond and share their books. I've done it with leadership. There's another topic I've talked about, like, hey, I want to improve this area of my life. What's a good book on leadership? Share your lessons learned. You know, a daily lesson maybe you had. You could probably, if you sit down every night, you probably jot down 2 or 3 things you learned throughout that day. I don't know, it's about 12:30, 1 o'clock today. There's probably 2 or 3 lessons that I've learned. I just got back from church, you know, there's a couple lessons I could pull from that. So share your lessons learned, whether it's just a little tidbit of a lesson, or maybe it's a full-blown blog post, video, training. Share that. So share behind the scenes of your life, what you're working on, who you're working with, your plans, your dreams, your goals, etc. So when the kids and I go on a bike ride, a lot of times I'll take out Instagram and do like an Instagram story for like 10 seconds and just say, here's Ava and Ashton and myself. You know, I'm typically jogging down the street trying to play catch up with them while they ride their bikes. It doesn't have anything to do with business. It's just my life. I'm enjoying being a dad and having fun with the kids. So it doesn't have to be all business. Show your personal side, or like I said, behind the scenes as well. Again, these are just ideas to kind of get you thinking. There's probably an unlimited amount of ideas on how to add value. This is a quote I got from an entrepreneur years ago. I saved it. I really like it. But your clients are not buying into pleasure. They are buying their way out of pain. This is a really good one. So remember that. They're trying to escape pain. There's a common thing there. They're on Hell Island, and then your solution, your product, is Heaven Island. So try to build that bridge from Hell Island. They want to get off of Hell Island. Paint that picture. This is more if you're offering like a service or like a transformational thing. Now, if you're selling like a T-shirt on Shopify, a little bit different, you know. But for service-based businesses, a lot of this can apply. I don't want to say all the time, but for service-based businesses, or if you're selling like a coaching program. You know, if you're smoking, you're on Hell Island, paint the picture of being on Hell Island because you're a smoker, and then Heaven Island, you know, you can walk up and down the stairs without getting out of breath, play with your kids, live longer, blah, 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 blah. Excellent. That looks like I spelled excellent wrong. Anyways, what do you do in 15 words or less? This is a powerful exercise. I find a lot of online entrepreneurs struggle with this, the brevity of it. They have a elevator pitch that's 17 minutes and it changes like the wind, you know. Today they say one thing, tomorrow they say the next, and I am guilty of it as well. So what do you do in 15 words or less? More challenging. See if you can get it down to 10 words. But this is a powerful exercise. Write it out, save it, and learn it. And there'll be some iterations of it. You know, you'll go over it a few times making changes, but you should be able to, if someone were to wake you up in the middle of the night, you should be able to say what you do in 10 words or less, you know, like right away. Like you should be able to say it forwards, backwards, whatever it is. Imprint it in your brain. So when people say, what do you do? At the bar, at the grocery store, you can say it really, really quick in 10 words or 15 words or less. So here's kind of just a real general basic framework. So I help or teach or guide specific target market, solve, achieve, create the result or the problem so that the biggest benefits, outcome your service product provides. So there's a lot of variables in that, obviously, but this just kind of gives you an idea. And you could add in a time frame at the end after product provides, say in 30 days, in 6 months, in 5 years, in 7 days, whatever it is. Adding that time frame makes it very, very, very specific. So the last M in my M5 framework is media. So where are you going to be putting out this content? Where are you, is your target market hanging out? That's most important. Some people are like, well, should I be on Instagram? Well, if your target market's not on Instagram, no. Should I be on Pinterest? If like a 26-year-old male is your target market, probably not on Pinterest. You might want to check out Instagram or like Snapchat or like TikTok. You got to go to where your target market is. Just because I like YouTube doesn't mean it's going to work for your business. Your target market might not be on YouTube. So remember that. So power versus force. This is a concept I got from Ryan Stewman. That's really, really good. I like it. And its power is you putting out content more inbound. You're positioning yourself as the expert. So eventually people are going to come to you. You have power. However, it takes time. Typically, it takes years to build up power, to build up that influence, to be at the top of the mountain. Force is more outbound, more when you're getting started, and Ryan recommends doing power and force at the same time. Then over the years, eventually you don't need to do force anymore. You can just be power. People are always coming to you. So here's a couple ideas, a couple places, I should say, a couple channels. You could start a blog. That's one place. You could start a podcast with the app. I don't have my phone with me, but Anchor. It's free. It uploads to iTunes and all the podcast channels. It's anchor.fm. I've done probably 75 podcasts. Literally, you pick up your phone, you hit a button, and you just talk into your phone, and then it's automatically goes to iTunes and all the. It's magnificent. Like, it's really, really neat. So there's no excuse. I don't have the time. I don't have the money to start a podcast. I guess you can. You could do it in your car, driving to work. You could do it while walking the dog. It's really, really simple. Facebook, be the, whether it's running ads or whether it's just organic. I know quite a few online entrepreneurs doing multiple 5 figures per month just on purely organic Facebook, posting on their profile. Instagram, Twitter, and then YouTube. Again, these are the social media channels. Wherever your target market is, that's where you need to go. This is the media. This is where you're going to be sharing that content, the message. Channels. This is more the force thing. This is more service type stuff, the consulting, the freelancing, the agency type stuff, SMMA. This is going out and getting clients. Obviously, this isn't for like e-commerce. This isn't for Amazon. This isn't for, I guess, network marketing. You might use it. Affiliate marketing, you wouldn't use the force concept, I don't think. I don't have too much experience with it, but this is more for, like I said, client work, cold emailing, cold calling, direct mail, and then networking events. So again, this is the force stuff. When you're getting started, you're probably going to have to do a little force, a little power. Now, when getting started, a lot of people will just stick with force, and they continue to have to send out cold emails. 50 a day, let's say, for years and years to come. But if you're doing power and force, eventually, you have a blog or a podcast or a YouTube channel, eventually you're not going to have to do that force or sending out those cold emails because people are going to be coming to you. So focus. My recommendation is pick one channel and dominate it. Don't be the jack of all trades, master of none. Like YouTube is my focus, and I have accounts in like Instagram and Quora and Twitter and Facebook. I just don't spend that much time on it, and the time I spend on it is typically to promote the YouTube channel or the videos from YouTube. So my recommendation is pick one and dominate, or pick one and spend 80 to 90% of the time and kind of dabble in the others, just in case that one bottoms out. YouTube closes tomorrow. I don't want to be screwed, so I have like tentacles in the water, I guess you could say. But I like giving the far majority of my focus on one specific channel. So closing thoughts. This is $1 million advice I got from a guy. I actually have it printed out, taped on my monitor. It serves as a reminder. It's June 15th, 2015. He posted it on Facebook, and I have it here as a reminder. Kind of raggedy. It's been hanging up for a couple of years now, but he says send out something that makes you money, make an offer, whether that's email, direct mail, etc. Number 2 is drive traffic to generate leads. That's paid media, Facebook ads, a blog, a podcast. And the third step is be consistent with who you are in communication with your new prospects and old clients every day. And then he says do this in social media, podcast, etc. Repeat. Don't make this shit hard. It's really this simple. You'll refine and learn as you grow. 100%. But until you start doing, you'll be stuck in nowhere, and that's a shitty place to be. So $1 million advice. This is like a digital mentor of mine that I've been following for years. He's done millions and millions online, but I love that piece of it. He shares a lot of good advice. I love that specific one probably the most. So So that wraps up the million dollar advice. That wraps up the M5 training. Use this. It's powerful. So that wraps up my M5 training. Like I said, I wish I had this years ago, back in 2010 when I first got started. So let's recap the 5 M's. So it's mindset, model, market, message, and media. So that's it. So hey, if you like this stuff, if you like this trainings, I put out videos every Monday and Thursday. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also hit that little bell notification. You'll be alerted every time I put a new video. Next video, I'm going to reveal how to create a sales funnel for free. You don't need all the fancy tools, especially when getting started. You can eventually graduate to that once you're making money, but I'm going to show you how to create an absolute simple funnel, sales funnel, all you need when getting started. I thought it dovetails perfect from this video into building your business on a budget of $0 and 0 cents. So I'm going to share 2 tools with you, and it's really all you need to get started to build an online business. Contrary to what the experts say, you need all these different tools, but no, you need these 2 things, and that's it. So I'm going to share that in the video next. Like I said, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification. You'll be alerted for that. And as always, if you have comments, questions, or concerns, drop them down below. I'll be happy to help out. Thank you.